everyone, Gabriella here today, and I'm going to be going through a way to use your scraps. If you're anything like me, you have tons and tons of scraps and you save them. So here's a good project and you can use a lot of your scraps for it. So you're going to take some of your scraps, which for me, all of these are different pieces of the Quick Quotes collection, and just cut them into strips. And it doesn't really matter if they're the same size. I'm not measuring at all. I'm just cutting them. And you're going to get yourself a nice big pile of different size strips. And I ended up using my Xyron just to run another piece of scrap paper through it so that I'd have adhesive on the back. And I'm going to show you what I use that for. So I cut this down to a smaller piece. And I'm going to peel the release paper back, and I'm just going to grab some different pieces of my scraps and stick them on here in a diagonal pattern because I feel like it's much easier if everything's not exactly straight, if you have things lined up sort of diagonally. So I'm not doing this in any specific pattern. I'm just grabbing pieces that I like and I'm putting them next to each other. And then the good thing here is that since everything is Quick Quotes, it all coordinates really, really nicely. So it doesn't even matter that I'm just, sort of grabbing pieces and putting them on and then moving on to the next pattern. Everything looks really, really nice together. So you'll see here, as I'm working towards the end, I want to make sure that I have just enough to cover whatever adhesive is still showing. So now I'm going to just press everything down, and now I'm going to cut all of the free edges off. And I'm going to cut around my piece of paper in the center that has the adhesive on it. And now you'll see you get a really, really cool looking piece of patterned cardstock that you made just from scraps that you had. So that's me kind of just trimming it up. So I'm going to use this on the front of cards, and I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/4. And because this piece is so big, you can actually get 2 cards out of this. And that's me just straightening up the edges right there. So I'm going to cut this just about in half, not exact, but it's about, each piece is about maybe 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 inches. And the length is 4 1/4 inches. So now I'm going to grab some dies and I'm going to put these through my die cutter. And I have the word thanks and the word hello. And I'm going to cut those out. And then I'm just going to pull the die cut out of my pattern paper. And I'm going to save the insides of it, so the tiny spaces inside the letters. And I'm going to need all of those, so make sure you don't throw those away. And you can also save your cutout letters for another project or to make a different card. So then I'm going to just take a random piece of white cardstock, doesn't matter, it could even be just paper. And I'm going to cut those exact same words out of it, and here's why. I'm going to take these and I'm going to set them in the space that I cut out of my patterned paper. Okay, and now before I attach these, I have to actually have a note card. So this is just plain piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to do a top folding card, and it's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to start with a thanks, and I put adhesive on a piece of craft foam so that I could have a little bit of dimension here. So you're going to go ahead and attach that. Then I'm just trimming it down here, and you can use any color foam that you want. You're not really going to see it. I just happen to have a piece of purple handy, so that's what I'm using, but it's not going to make a difference because you're not going to see it. So remember I said that we're going to set those words inside of the die cut. So now that the adhesive part is facing me, everything that you see that was purple was sticky. So I put my thanks word in there, and then all of the interior cutouts as well. Now I'm going to attach just with some glue runner on the back and go ahead and put that there, and you'll see it has a nice little bit of dimension on it. And then just press that down, and your strips of cardstock will be very smooth, and it makes for a really nice looking card. Here I added some stamps, and I added another piece of background paper, and it's a really simple card. You can make a lot of them. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching.